Wel grappig, we hebben bijna dezelfde hoogte, maar
Ja,
2 keer zo
heel
zwaar.
Kom, kijk. Nou, kijk dan.
Hoi hoi. Goedemorgen.
Dat was het mooie.
Mooi. Zo.
Voilà. Kom, kijk aan zo, dus salut. Ja, dat zijn we voilà.
Hoi hoi. Kom maar. Yeah, nice. Nice musculature. I think he smelled something. Today we will discuss wash and wipe dog ownership. So what do I mean with this term? If you look at dogs, some dogs need quite a lot of work, others are almost carefree. And I'm referring to the latter. So for example, if you have a dog with a very nice fluffy coat, you also have to comb it a lot. And otherwise the coat will get entangled and also dirt will build up. Whereas if you have a dog with a smooth coat like this, you have no work. You do not even have to comb them and still they look like this. Like if you feed them well and exercise them well, they will just shine from health. And that's what I apply to. It's the same with humans. If you're a man, you can have very long hair, you can have a long beard, but it takes a lot of time to keep it in a good condition. Whereas if you keep it smooth and easy, it's just wash and wipe. And you're good to go. Also, if he has played in the dirt, this little guy, I just take a towel and wipe him off once. And it takes off all the dirt, all the moist, everything. And that's an easy thing in life. Another thing, you could also do it a little bit more on the psychological level. If you have a dog that is is demanding a lot of you, also in the way, of course every dog should needs exercise and also mental exercise, etc. But sometimes you have a dog that's so far away from the normal things that you do that you have to make compromises a lot. And if so, this can be quite intruding. For example, if you have a dog that barks for every sound that it hears, you will go and adapt to that, because you do not like this barking perhaps. I would not. But also, if it barks, you will think it cries wolf again. Whereas if you have a dog that only barks when there's really something there and can discriminate between the normal things of life, but also if something is really amiss, you have the benefits of a watchdog properties. You will not have all the trouble also with people around you that go nuts from all those barks. And that is something I really like. Also a dog that can be relaxed in house. For example, there are 2 elite working terriers at this moment. And in my opinion, that is the Patterdale terrier and the German Yacht terrier, also known as the German hunting terrier. But they have different characters. Patterdales are far nicer in house, whereas Yacht terriers are almost they keep on being extremely active, almost neurotic in my opinion. Whereas the Patterdale terrier can also have an off button, so to say, which I like a lot. So that's my philosophy about wash and wipe type of dog. I'm not promoting to wash your dog too much, only if needed. And sometimes it can be only once in so many months, or not, or never if it can swim. But you should wipe it, of course, so that it doesn't soil the environment, especially when it's has played in the mud. But just keep it easy and keep it simple and easy for you, also easy for the dog. That's my philosophy. And that doesn't mean that I do not have respect for dogs with a bigger coat, or that I cannot enjoy their beauty, because I can, but I like this a lot more practical. And also very nice bonus that you can see the musculature very nicely, as you can also see here with Estacado now. 1 year 9 months. Have a great day. In this video I will show you an update about DSL Estacado. It's now 1.5 years old. I think you can now see him walking and pulling the leash. He's always like this. It's also very good for its conditioning. I will switch it up. Most often he's on the leash, but also in the harness. It's better. That's not only that all the forces will be on his neck, but you can divide it a little bit more. Spiky! Oh, he smells a bit, I think. See? Marking the territory. Spiky! So I hope this is a nice small update to show you how he's maturing. Have a great day. In this video we will discuss the Banter Bulldog. And where does this dog sit? This dog sits between the modern day boxer and the ancestor thereof, known as the Brabanter Bullenbeißer. So this is like Dutch, because Brabant is a part of the Netherlands, German type of Mastiff, or Bulldog in my opinion. It's more of a Bulldog. Bullenbeißer means in German the dog that bites the bull. So this would more be a Dutch-German Bulldog. That being said, this dog is now extinct. It is one of the ancestors of the show dog that we now know as the boxer, and that's a boxer population completely assimilated the left, those left of the Bullenbeißer, Brabanter Bullenbeißer. Next to the Brabanter Bullenbeißer they also used especially English Bulldog blood, and most dominantly English Bulldog blood of show stock to further flatten the nose. And the English Bulldog blood of show stock, which in a later phase was used to refine the dog that we know now as the boxer, has a flattened nose because of puck influences, which is just a show toy breed. It has no functionality. This also means that the boxers with this flat nose have lost a lot of functionality, albeit being a nice athletic frame that they have, and also a nice character, which is all good, but the functionality has been lost to a great degree. And that's what they try to restore by creating the Banter Bulldog. So Bulldog is also referring to the English term for Bullenbeißer, the German term, and Banter is a part of the Brabanter part in this breed, and it was a dog known in the Dutch regions, and that so the Dutch region of Brabant, and those dogs were used also in Germany. They were referred to where they came from, being Brabant, as the Brabanter Bullenbeißer. So the Banter Bulldog is a recreation to some degree, but it still started with one of the show dogs that we know known as the Boxer. So still they have some of the drawbacks of show blood infusion, and then they revigorate this with a very good breed, a breed that is the direct descendant of the English Bulldog when it was still a performance blood sport gladiator, which is the American Pit Bull Terrier. So those two breeds are used to create a breed that we now know as the Banter Bulldog. And this is a great increase in health, performance possibilities, and also a great contender at weight pull events, for example. As such, still not beating the American Pit Bull Terrier, which is for its weight a top contender in almost all sports it participates in, but a lot better than a regular boxer would do. It's a nice project, but for me it only has value as a sentimental recreation, whereas the Banter Bulldog has descendants of the Brabanter Bullenbeißer, performance bred dog, and the English bloodsport Bulldog running through its veins. It still will be subpar to a pure performance type of dog, such as the American Pit Bull Terrier. So all the good parts come from American Pit Bull Terrier blood. It might have a nicer view if you want something like that, but there were already breeds closer to the original Brabanter Bullenbeißer in its performance. If you would look at Scott type American Bulldogs, for example, you could come very close to the looks and also the function of the Brabanter Bullenbeißer without the infusion of show breed blood. So to show English Bulldog, which carries puck blood, and that's the part I don't like. That being said, it's far better than the original Boxer as a show dog, and would be a joy to have. Boxers have a nice temperament, but they're quite plagued with diseases, especially heart, epilepsy, but also cancer. And infusing a performance breed will greatly revigorate those detrimental traits. So I'm not against the breed, but I think it could do a lot better. Hope you like this video. Have a great day. The dog on the leash here is a very small dog. Also carries Bull and Terrier blood. It is known as the Patterdale Terrier, also known as the Black Veil Terrier or the Black Dogs. And this is a smooth coated variety, and also carries some of the original Bulldog blood through its veins, by means especially of the Northumberland Terrier. Have a great day.
In this video we will address the topic, is there also gameness in the animal kingdom, so in the wild animals? And the short answer is yes, but they are hard to find and not many are that. And why is this? Because in nature normally animals are there to survive, and if they don't survive because they have gameness and they want to go on even against opposition that is much stronger, so even if needed to the death, they won't be living long enough to reproduce their genes maximally. So that being said, let's look at some examples. We will talk at least about lions. We will talk about Martin's family, but we also talk about some of the civet cat family. So first start with lions. In the animal kingdom, the male lions are those that have the Gameness attribute. And why? The female lions are the best hunters. So how come that those male lions are those that have the Gameness trait? Whereas the lioness are the hunters, the male lions are the protectors. So especially if other male lions come and try to take over this group of lions, and oftentimes they also kill the lion whelps because they don't want to raise other male lions with genes but their own, and that's a big problem for that group. You will be wasting genetic diversity. And those male lions, once they get challenged by another male lion, they will fight, even if that would mean that they would die. And sometimes they even face off with two upcoming male lions that will battle that one lion together. And after that, either be a two male lion group, or one will attack the other again, so only one will remain. Depends a little bit how the situation unfolds. That's an interesting fact. Other very game animals must be the family of martens. Martens, even if you get pet martens like ferrets, they will happily engage with a cat 4 times its weight, which is also a very good predator, or a dog even 10 times its weight is very often the case, but sometimes even attacking herders like Dutch shepherds, Malinois. And of course it would be very easy for such a big dog, for any bigger dog, that's to kill a ferret if they are themselves still very capable, right? But oftentimes those household pets are already bred to have such a lack of courage that they will have a hard time with a ferret. But so a ferret is a domesticated polecat, and also polecats are known to fight cats, sometimes even venomous snakes, such as how do we say that? I think viper is the best way to describe them. We have European viper, for example, and a similar case could be made for an entirely different family, being that of the civet cats, where they have the mongooses fighting with the big venomous snakes and also killing them. But sometimes also those snakes kill them. So it's a very interesting thing. But let's stay with the martens family. Other very game martens are, for example, the wolverine that even chases away wolves or bears, or even polar bears from their own prey. And it's such a compact gladiator. Other examples are river otters or other otters that even fight and kill small crocodiles, caimans, or also snakes. Even small anacondas have been killed by them. Other examples are the meager weasel, who can be like 50 to 100 grams and killing rabbits more than 20 times its weight. yeah, a rabbit is still just a prey, but they will also engage very hard with each other. They will engage rats, and rats are quite capable of killing animals, including their own. For the size, they are quite big, and they will engage a bigger rat and kill it. They are really good, feisty little buggers. And you have a little bit bigger, the ermine, similar traits. Polecats already mentioned, but also there are some martens that are less likely to fight, including tree marten and stone marten, but also you have the fisher marten in the United States, like a smaller wolverine, also very interesting to see. Then we had the civet cats, I already mentioned the mongooses, but also the genet cats, which is a different trait. And fossas are known to be ferocious little fighters. Another example could be made for, that we didn't address yet, there's another very big cat that is really going, hey, against a very stiff competition, and that could be either the snow leopard, that you will even face off with 4 livestock protection breeds, for example Tibetan Mastiffs, and also the jaguar, which is able to kill anaconda but also crocodile types. But both the snow leopard and also the jaguar are very fierce and also solo fighting big cats, and also sometimes Siberian tigers or Bengal tigers face off with very strong prey, even bears. So also very strong, and also a bear can win from a tiger, of course, but this is not the type of game that I was referring to. Another example of the marten family would be the badgers. Badgers are known for many a dog as the ultimate test. Some say that the otter is even a better test, but they are almost extinct everywhere in Europe. But very ferocious, will not back down. But there's an even more ferocious badger. I'm not talking about the American badger, which is a lot more aggressive than the European one, but a lot smaller as well. So therefore the European is often considered as a bigger prey, but also the American marten. The American badger is a very formidable quarry, but there are other examples, especially the honey badger of Africa, which faces off on a regular basis with a very big, strong competition, including lions, panthers, even hyenas and the like. And they also face off with cobras and other very deadly material. They just very able to withstand them, but also they have a don't care attitude. They will just face anything, a little bit like the wolverine. But the badger has a better skin, extremely sharp, long claws, also able to dig. They also face off with bee stings, who just doesn't seem to bother them much. They crack open an entire beehive. They are an awesome creature altogether. Well, I hope you like this. I hope you like this video. I'm going to give you also a little bit more of insight that gameness can be a trait also found in nature. And why could be a big question. In case of lions it would be easier to explain. If that lion loses his pride, then he will be in big trouble, because he's already old, and it would be very unlikely that he would be overthrowing another male lion from its pride. So he has to hunt for himself and often die. Whereas the honey badger is just such a formidable warrior, and he tends to be surviving also the Wolverine. Many of other big creatures will just move away when they see the Wolverine because they already know how much of a warrior they are. Same with honey badger, but it's quite hard to understand why they pick such a formidable quarry. Perhaps because others don't, and they just fill the niche, but it's interesting to conceptualize a little bit more. In an earlier video we discussed gameness in nature, and we gave examples of creatures that can also be game in nature. So gameness is the ability and the willingness to go on even if odds are stacked against you. An example would be the honey badger that will face off with a leopard or a big baboon or a lion. And other examples are male lions that defend their pride against other male lions, even till the death. And multiple examples were mentioned, including also Wolverine and, for example, mongooses, or mongooses, so to speak, fighting with king cobras, etc. But that being said, we didn't include canine members in this overview. So canine members like, for example, the fox, or the wolf, or jackal, or coyotes, etc. And that is there's a reason for that, because canines are very brave and also able to take down big quarries, but they work very often in a group. And for example, solo hunting canines such as foxes oftentimes don't take down a big quarry. And then you might say, yeah, I know a fox that has killed a lamb, or killed a baby deer, or killed a baby hawk. Yeah, sure, and they do that. And that's still a big prey for a fox. But the same size, this Patterdale terrier would face off even with an adult hawk. Not win, mind you, but it's a different kind of bravery. So how come that in nature, where they have to fight to survive and also have a very harsh life, this gameness is not found in the canine family, whereas captivity, domestication, so you will, some members of the canine family are one of the gamest animals there are, and especially those that were bred for the gladiator roles, being in the earth. The terrier is working formidable quarry like a badger, sometimes above ground against the hawk that I mentioned, but especially those bred for the pit. There were dogs that would go on and continue against other dogs even if they were ripped to pieces, and still be friendly to the handlers, but also dogs that would face off with lions, and everything they threw at them. And that's an interesting fact, because that gives you also insight at what I mentioned earlier, that I think the Bull Terrier breeds are the most developed dog breeds there are, because they are so much developed outside the scope of the natural scope that a wolf, a natural canine, has. So if you're interested in this topic, I also have the literature studied about those extreme activities that they had. So especially against the bull, but also against the bear baiting, and against each other, of course. There's gladiator type Bull and Terriers. The modern version of that would be the American Pit Bull Terrier, or the Bull and Terriers of the past. But they also fought lions. I have a video about that. You can find it if you want to. It's called lion baiting. It's on my channel. So please sit back and enjoy if you want to. And see you the next time. Bye bye.